What is going on? James Bonnety's here, and in this video I decided to talk about the 6 life business lessons that I've learned after doing in the last 5 years over $27 million with my business. Now here's the transparency. That 27 million obviously wasn't all profit. That's gross, with about a 30% profit margin on that business over the last 5 years. It's been about 5 years now, from one business. And the reason why I want to do this video is because people think that they all they do is need money in their life, and it solves all problems. And don't get me wrong, money solves a lot of problems, like a lot. Okay. But I think that you'll be surprised on these 6 life and business lessons that I've learned, because they didn't come easy. And I think that, not only did they didn't come easy, but it's one of those things that you are so grateful that you learned. And if you stay into this end of the video, you're going to be surprised what my number 6 lesson is. I can promise you that. But real quick, I just need to kind of give a little bit, because most people don't know who I am, who's watching this, if anybody's going to watch it, right? But, back in the day, I was a teacher in a high school. I was making 63 grand. I think I started, in 2003 or 2004 is when my first year of teaching was. I taught anywhere from keyboarding to international business to even accounting. Wherever I landed in that high school is what I taught, computers, so on and so forth. And then I went and got my master's degree in business administration, and eventually moved my way up the educational corporate ladder into the VIP vice principal position. It was good because I wasn't really dealing a lot with the kids. It was an inner city, and I have no problem with that. I think I just don't have the backbone for it. My personality doesn't fit the you could even ask my kids and my wife. My backbone doesn't really fit discipline. I feel bad for most people, and I usually give the benefit of the doubt in everything, right? And so I ventured out in 2014, learned how to help local businesses make more money by getting them more leads and customers. It's a really simple business model, because literally there's not much you have to think about other than, okay, I just need to get them more leads and customers. How do I do that? Well, you could do it by ranking a website. You could do it by running pay-per-click advertising, and you could do it by running Facebook ads. Like, that's literally it. And helping them get more reviews. That business did good. The year that I decided to leave my job was 2018. It was 2008, beginning of 2018, because in 2017, I 3x'd my $100,000 salary on my side hustle. And I was like, all right, this is getting pathetic. I better get out of here. So I resigned in January, I think, of 2018. And by the time I was actually released was 2000. Was after my daughter was born. So it was 2000, May, I think, of 2018. And I started a coaching program teaching other people how to build this business. There's that saying, learn, do, and teach. I was back into my teaching mode. I was just doing it online and teaching others. And so if I'm going to get into the 6 main lessons that I've learned after doing almost 30 million of online sales and online businesses, and running up to a sales team, doing up to 19 salespeople, a COO, a partner, myself, there was and various other 1099 contractual employees. I realized, number one, okay, here's the first lesson that I learned. Money comes, the only way to get money is to ask other people for money. Money comes from the transfer from one person to another, or one business to another. Okay. It gets passed around in circles, right? You don't earn your money by printing it. You can't do that. That's what the Fed does constantly. And so that money has to come from someone. And the first lesson I learned was it's okay to ask people for money. Okay. And it usually, 95% of the time, comes from helping them solve their problem. That's where money comes from. It comes from helping them solve their problem. Okay? And that was a tough one for me because, you know, in order to get money for myself, I had to ask somebody else for money, right? The only difference is you have to insert solution in there. I solve your problem, you hand me money, and that money keeps stacking, okay? And I never put that together because I was always getting paid as an employee. And so I always believed that I just needed to work for somebody in order for them to pay me. But in reality, right, in education, the state is cutting my, or the district is cutting my paycheck, which is coming from the taxes, which is coming from the people, which is coming from their paychecks, so on and so forth. So no matter what you do in life, you are taking somebody else's money. And that kind of adds a level of confidence that it's okay to sell a service. It's okay to sell somebody something, because no matter what you do in life, the money is just being transferred. The second life or business lesson is that money is directly correlated to the amount of lives you change. And what do I mean by that? There's a saying, I don't know, I don't remember who said it, maybe Ogilvy, but it's in order to get the things that you want or get where you want, that will be directly correlated to helping others get what they want. It's a natural way of life in the universe, and so I realized very fast that the more lives that I change, the more results that the people paying me get, the faster results they get, the more money that I naturally make without having to try any harder. It's just a natural occurrence. And it's an amazing feeling when you're asking people for money and they've 1,000x'd their ROI on what they gave you. It gives you a unfound confidence that you never thought that you had within yourself, and creates a way of looking at life as how do I better my product and service to change more lives. And the second thought is knowing that if I can do that right and create more value for people, the money will just flow. And it does, right? I'm not saying that money just flows out of nowhere. You got to reach those people, right? And that's always the sticking point for most people is, how do I reach those people? I have a product or service. How do I reach those people, right? And so that was lesson number 2. Lesson number 3 is that it is so damn hard to go from $0 or a $0 business, or just learning how to run a business, to $100,000 a year. That is like extremely difficult, and why most people never get past that, and why most of the time they just stay in their job. $100,000 a year to $1 million a year takes human capital. You need to find somebody who's better at a certain thing than yourself. I struggled big time with imposter syndrome. And if somebody doesn't know what that means, it means that who am I to go out and teach other people to do something? Like, what have I accomplished in my life that I am deserving for other people to listen to me? And the biggest thing that I learned was it was no different than teaching and staying one chapter ahead. If I was always one chapter ahead, I always knew more than the person who was giving me money, and therefore they could always learn from me as long as I was one step or one chapter ahead. And so the $100,000 a year to $1 million a year literally takes human capital to help you speed up the things that you're not good at. So maybe it's marketing you're not good at, and hiring a marketing manager could now reach more people faster than you because they know what ads to put out. They know how to press the buttons, and you're not sitting behind a computer for 4 hours a day trying to figure this stuff out, okay? $1 million to $6 million a year takes standard operating procedures, automation, and just freaking organization. Okay. I was able to get to, I have it written down, 7.2 million in my second or third year. Jesus, I didn't write the years down. Second or third year, we did that year. And we had myself, my partner, COO, sales manager, and 19 sales guys. Okay. And so it was a, I was going to use a derogatory term, but I don't want to here, but it was like, to the wall, day in and day out. Like, vacations were unheard of. Even though I went on them, I was stressed out to all heck. I was on my phone and Messenger all day, every day, constantly answering questions. Credit cards weren't going through. Sales guys didn't know why. Like, it was exhausting. Okay. And to be honest with you, through that scaling process, we actually were less profitable than we were doing $2 or $3 million. 6 to 8 million is where I failed. I'll be straight out with you guys. We hit 8.2 million. I think it was in 2019 for that year. We did about 8.2. And I said, I never want this volume again. Never wanted it again. And we did January of 2021, we did about 690,000. February of 2021, we did about 740,000. March of 2020, 20. These were all 2020. March of 2020, we had our biggest month, 830,000, I think. And then COVID hit, and everybody knows what happened after that. And then the business went boom, right? We kept it alive. We damage controlled, we pivoted, and back running again. But that was one heck of a life lesson, was just in that 3 months of March, April, and May, and maybe even to June, of how to control emotions. Really, that's really what I learned, was how to control emotions. And I don't want a business doing that amount of volume. I have no desire for it. I'm not here to brag about gross income. I'm here to live a relaxed life, a good life, making good money, and investing very wisely, which thankfully one of the few internet entrepreneurs who have made those decisions was, and that should be lesson number 4, changing it up a little bit. Lesson number 4 was, when you get to the opportunity to make money, don't freaking spend it. Don't spend, go invest it. My investments have made me more money than my business. Unrealized money made me more unrealized money than my business. So also, let me throw in there for number 4, the journey is much more fun than the destination. The learning phases of everything from 0 to 100,000, 100,000 to 1 million, 1 million to 6 million, and 6 million to 8.2 million. The life lessons in the business lessons that I learned through that journey was the fun part. Having enough money to do what you want, when you want, how you want, is cool. And that brings me to number 5. Money creates freedom that you almost don't know what to do with. And it's an interesting, almost like, what's a good word I can put into this? It's like an oxymoron, right? You believe that freedom will create the happiness, but the problem is freedom creates chaos. And you find yourself as an entrepreneur saying, I can't run a business thinking that I have all this freedom, because what you tend to do is you're like, you know what? I need a schedule, almost like you're going back to a job, because your to-do list never gets done, never gets checked off. And what you end up doing is saying, the only freedom I care about is when I want the freedom, right? That's the only thing. A day-to-day freedom is chaos. And so I ended up having to create hours of operation, and times I'm going to be in the office, and times I'm going to take lunch, and times I'm going to leave. And so you kind of learn that along the way. It's like you run away from a job, but then you have to give yourself a job back in order to get things done and run a business. And it's okay, because you love the business, right? That's why you created the business, because you love it. And it's okay to structure your life and structure and plan your vacations and take them whenever you want, right? And when you have kids, you realize you can really only take vacations when everybody else can anyway. So it's an interesting thing, freedom. And so I learned that humans need structure. And if you're an entrepreneur and you have been set out to find the freedom, it's okay to still create a daily schedule for yourself. Matter of fact, you're gonna need it. Okay. And last but not least, and you've probably heard this a million times, money is the seesaw of emotions. Okay. And what do I mean by saying that? Where you were in life prior to making a lot of money is where money will weigh on the seesaw. So think about it like this. If you were kind of on the not happy side of the seesaw, more money will probably not fix that and make you more unhappy. If you're life is good, whether you're making a lot of money or not, you enjoy life, you love your partner, if you're married or girlfriend or life and friends and you enjoy yourself, if you're on the happy side of the seesaw, money can and will probably make you happier, okay? And so money will create this seesaw of where you were prior. Most of the time, entrepreneurs will find that money doesn't make them happy. And it's true to some extent. I mean, money fixes a lot of problems and relaxes the nerves, and you don't have to look at the bank account, and your bills are paid, family is safe, investments are going in. But if you were not happy prior to making a lot of money, most likely you will not be happy even after making a lot of money, okay? There's a difference between happiness and stress. Stress should not change your happiness level. Money will remove the stress, but it should not change it. Happiness comes within. I'm not going to be a psychologist on here, but it's the seesaw. Money is the seesaw, and it will move the side that you are already on prior to building a big business, making a lot of money and stuff like that. And that's why you see a lot of like entrepreneurs or even athletes and stuff like that. They end up just getting tons of money and not knowing what to do with it and just going down a rabbit hole of garbage because they didn't fix the problems they had in their life prior. And so, money also gives you the ability to fix them faster, which is cool. And that's my 6 life lessons of building a almost $30 million business online, believe it or not, which sounds crazy every time I say it. And I hope this helped you out in some way or another, or at least you'd like to listen to my story. If you like videos like this, anything entrepreneur, anything business related, make sure you like this video. Maybe there's some people out there that would love to listen to this. Or maybe we're in my position, will be my position. Subscribe. Please subscribe. And comment down below if you have any questions in regards to anything. And if you want to find out what kind of business I help people start, just look down in the description. There's probably a link there. You can go watch that free training down there. Appreciate your time, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace out.